Hello, wonderful Awake in the Wild group. I'm doing a little sound check here. I guess it's a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so we've got the recording. Thank you, Rochelle, for being the backup host here, that she got the technology figured out. I was just fumbling around with it. So thank you all for being here today. That I imagine that it might have been a smaller group because I know that Mark is teaching a longer morning, dealing with challenging times through the New York Insight Research Institute. So thank you, nature lovers, for keeping our outdoor theme going. I am here in San Luis Obispo and in my backyard, and I'd love to know where you guys are all located and get a sense of community that I'm starting to see familiar faces, and I think some of you guys are recognizing each other that is sitting in Sangha. Such a nice way to start the day. And we got, I know we're an international crowd, but then we've got most of the US covered from coast to coast. You guys can see where we're at. And looking like there's some blue skies out there. So thank you for sharing your space. And if you're indoors, nice heater and blankets. It is getting fall and winter. So I would like to share with you today a practice on the 4 elements, or the great elements, that they've really been alive with me recently. But I first encountered doing a meditation based on the elements when I started training with Awake in the Wild. And some of you might be familiar with Mark's book that has a practice of the 4 elements in it. And that was my first exposure to it, and really liked it initially, and then got curious about it and was just noticing whenever it would come up and whenever there would be some buddy who would mention the elements. And so I noticed how it's kind of universal that, the Roman culture, Chinese culture has a system of elements that uses medicine. Ayurvedic culture does. And then even recently, I found a money management that used the 4 elements as a way that you relate to your money. So it's kind of, universal, which is what I like about it. And then just last month, Shyla Catherine, through the South Bay Insight Meditation Center, did a at-home retreat that was for a weekend retreat that focused on the 4 great elements in the Theravadic tradition. And that's what I will be teaching from today. And that it's a way, the traditional Theravada approach to using the 4 great elements is really to embody the properties and the characteristics. So I'm going to be pointing to kind of at a cellular level how we experience the 4 great elements within our body. And that's really to lead to kind of a universal understanding or appreciation that our bodies are not self, that we're made up of the elements. And that can kind of, take it into the bigger teachings of Theravada that, John Kabat-Zinn has really encapsulated well in current language. That, I want to make sure that I quote him correctly, that it's don't take things personally, things change and shit happens. And then Ruth King has also, in her book Race Matters, really summarized it, very pithy, and that nothing in life is personal, perfect, and permanent. Like the 3 P's that I keep going back to. So that's kind of the big picture. And I want to transition from my talking into more of a contemplative nature by reading a poem from Mary Oliver that I feel like really captures the embodiment of the elements. And then At Blackwater Pond by Mary Oliver. At Blackwater Pond, the tossed waters have settled after a night of rain. I dip my cupped hands. I drink a long time. It tastes like stone, leaves, fire. It falls cold into my body, waking the bones. I hear them deep inside me, whispering, "Oh, what is that beautiful thing that just happened?" So I invite you to get settled and comfortable as possible in a posture of sitting or laying. Arriving here in this body, noticing the environment around us, just being aware of what's present outside and what's present inside our bodies. Acknowledging and noticing the space that we're in, the space that allows the presence of elements to be noticed. First, bring your focused attention to where the soles of your feet are in contact with the ground, to the earth beneath us and the earth within our body that's touching the external earth. Maybe noticing the heaviness of our feet resting on the heaviness of the earth. Maybe noticing a hardness of our bones, hardness of the surface of the ground beneath us. Notice if there's a smoothness or roughness that can be felt. Just allowing ourselves to rest here in the solid, steady nature of the earth element. Not me, not mine, not I. Knowing that we're part of the earth. We are earth. And just as all elements are known in space, all four of the great elements coexist together. And that we can simply use our attention to focus on one of them, to highlight one. So let the earth element recede into the background and bring your attention to the air element. This can be noticed most prominently in our bodies with the breathing. The air element, or often called wind, has the property of movement. You might know this subtly in the body, with the movement of your body with the air, the in-breath and the out-breath. We can experience the air element internally with our breath or externally with the wind. We're connected to all beings with the respiratory nature of our breathing. There's a movement of oxygen from the outside to the inside of our body, and carbon dioxide moving out of our bodies. Not me, not mine, not I. The air element continually moving, circulating. And similar to the earth element, we'll let the air and the earth element recede into the background. And we'll bring our attention to the water element, noticing the fluidity of water both inside our body and outside. Internally, the water element is known vividly in the mouth. Bring your attention to the inside of your mouth, and you'll notice that there's saliva, a watery fluid feeling, moisture. Even with our lips, you can notice a dryness or a wetness. The fluid nature of the blood that's circulating throughout our body. You can know that we're part of the water element. The watermelon is part of us, their sense of thirst. Every day we drink water, bring water into our bodies. Every day we urinate, expelling waters from our body. The fluid nature of water and the environment around us externally. The rains that come from clouds that fall on the earth and end up in streams and oceans that return back to clouds. The cycle of water that we're part of. We're not separate from the water element. Not me, not mine, not I. We'll allow water to recede into the background, along with air and earth. And they bring the forefront to our attention the fire element. The fire is known as temperature in the body. And here it can be felt as a warmth or a coolness. The touch point of our hands allows us to feel the characteristics of temperature. Do your hands feel hot or cold or somewhere in between? Temperature that's internal. Their body is making, warming us. Feeling the temperature of the outside. Externally, we all experience the warmth of the sun, how there's heating rays that fall on the earth. We, having human bodies, can experience the sun's rays as warmth. Plants appreciate the rays as photosynthesis, a nourishing force. Internally, the fire element can also be felt in our digestive system. The heat that our body generates to break down the food. Not me, not mine, not I. Our bodies can be known as an ever-changing mixture of the four elements. And I invite you just to get curious and to play with the elements, noticing where the different ones bring more of a prominent impression. Being with that with the different body parts. The touch point of where our sit bones are in contact with our cushion in our chair. Is there a hardness or softness? heaviness or lightness, roughness or smoothness, the solidity, right? Heat, hot or cold, bringing your attention to your face. A heaviness or a lightness could be sensed and known. Hardness or softness, roughness or smoothness, where wetness or dryness is felt and known. The temperature, the movement of air on the cheeks, the movement of air in and out through our nostrils. Knowing that the fundamental elements of all phenomena are universal. connecting our body to the world around us. Nothing in life is permanent, personal, and perfect. I'd like to end our meditation. Another beautiful poem by Mary Oliver. It captures the spirit or elements. Mornings at Blackwater. For years, every morning, I drank from Blackwater Pond. It was flavored with oak leaves and also, no doubt, the feet of ducks. And always it assuaged me from the dry bowl of the very far past. What I want to say is that the past is the past, and the present is what your life is. And you are capable of choosing what will be, darling citizen. So come to the pond, or the river of your imagination, or the harbor of your longing, and put your lips to the world and live your life. If your eyes are shut, open them. Bring movement back to your fingers and your toes. I have found that eating is a wonderful opportunity to really focus on the earth elements. And it takes like mindful eating in a new direction when you kind of notice the smoothness of the yogurt with the roughness of maybe the nuts in the yogurt and the temperature of the coffee when you're drinking it. So I do want to also let you know about another 4 elements that Rochelle, which is on the call with us today, is actually doing a live online event this evening. The focus is on the 4 elements. And I thought it was wonderful timing that she had scheduled that months before, and I didn't know when I was doing this meditation. But if you go to our group website, The Awaken the Wild, and under the calendar, you'll be able to register for that tonight. That I know, Rochelle, there was a little confusion on the posting that it was, I'm not sure if it starts at 5 or at 6.
I should probably mention that it's not happening.
Oh.
Going to be outdoors with the fire and be able to live stream everyone in, but with COVID raising in our neck of the woods, participants just weren't feeling comfortable, so I'm not going to lead it. If people were interested, though, you can email me. I'd be happy to lead it from my house this evening. I just couldn't take us to the rich place I was hoping to stream in, but feel free to reach out and email me if you're interested. I'd be happy to still lead it. But thank you, Kelly, for mentioning it. And I didn't put it down because it just happened yesterday that I found this out. So anyway, so yes, but let me know if you want. I'll lead it tonight.
Okay.
So the time scheduled was for 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. So we were going to practice from 5:30 to about 7. Yeah. So if you're interested, let me know. And you can just email me or go to the website, New Mindful Life. So whatever supports. Thanks, Kelly.
You're welcome. But the fluid nature of life. Okay. So thank you very much for meditating with me, and that I hope that you continue playing with the elements as it suits you and as you feel inclined to, and that I will see you again on here. Have a wonderful day.